I was not very much interested in the studies, but I used to do very well. But I used to read lives of great men and things like that. At a very young age, I read Bernard Shaw. When people were reading just Great Expectations, I was reading Bernard Shaw. But as such, I didn't have interest in particularly reading some textbooks because I thought they were childish and there's nothing to be read about it. Then I told my father that I have to do medicine. So he said, why? I said, because I have to talk to doctors. He said, you have to talk to doctors. Yes, I said. But it so happened in my childhood when I was about 7 years of age. My father was a congressman. He had joined Congress when I was 4 years of age. He used to live with a style, very westernized. His clothes were stitched in London, sort of a man. We had governesses and all that. He threw away everything and he became a real Indian and started leading a life of a martyr. Then he made us study our languages, Sanskrit. He made me study in an Indian school, not in a missionary school, because missionaries were very unkind. They threw us out of the school when my father was in the Congress. They were against us completely. Then at the age of 7 years, I happened to go with my father to Mahatma Gandhi. He was about 70 miles living with us, but the first time he took me down. And Mahatma Gandhi liked me very much. He said, leave this child with me. So I had not even taken clothes or anything. I stayed on. Then my father sent me everything with him. And he was very fond of me, but I was a little girl. But he understood that there was something about me. He consulted me on very serious problems sometimes, surprisingly. Like one day he wanted to make the prayer book, all right. So he asked me how should I put the series and all that. So I told me how to put the series and he put the series in that way. I used to go back for my school and again go back to Gandhiji every year like that. And he called me Nepali. He gave me a name Nepali. Everybody used to call me Nepali that time. Then I grew up with him very intimately. He was a very, very kind person for children, otherwise an extremely strict man, with himself and with others, very strict, a big disciplinarian. And he would make everybody get up at 4 o'clock, have your baths, everything be ready for your morning prayers at 5 o'clock, you see, and he used to walk very fast. I also learnt walking fast with him. In his company I had to walk fast. And very extremely loving and a very nice person. And he would listen to me because I was a child, you see. Supposing I forced him to eat more or something, then he wouldn't laugh, he would accept. Very kindly person. But with others was very strict, and I used to tell him that, why are you strict with everyone? He said, but you are a little girl, you get up in the morning time, why can't they get up? I said, I'm little, that's why I get up. They are big, so they can't get up. Like that, you see, little chats. And then my father went to jail, and my mother also went to jail 5 times. My father went to jail twice, once for about 2.5 years, and he was the only supporting member of the family. By the way, we come from a very old royal family, which is called as Shalivahanas. They have a calendar also in India. And then when they took my father to jail, we had to leave our house and we had to live in huts and in all problems. That was nothing. But also me, they pestered a lot because I helped many people there, and I joined the 42 movement in a very serious way, and I became the leader here for the young people. I thought unless and until I take a very positive stand, it may not work out with them. It's not gracious to say how they tortured me, what they did to me. But they really tortured me. I was a young girl of 19 years that time. It's over now, so it's finished. And after that, my father went to jail again. And then when he came back, he got elected as the member of the Central Assembly, later on as the Constituent Assembly, and then of the Parliament. My brother was also a member of the Parliament later on. Now recently, he was the minister in the cabinet. Another brother is a High Court judge in Bombay. They are all doing well, despite the fact that our parents neglected us in a way because they gave their lives to the country. But you see, that never deterred us from studies, and we came up very well. Then when I was in 42 movement to see my college rusticated me from the college, they threw me out, and I had to go to another college to study far away from my house in Punjab, where I studied for 2 years. Science I did, then I did my medical. I didn't do fully because just after that the 47 riots broke out. So college was closed, and I didn't want to know more because what I wanted to know, I came to know about it. So I did not need, and I got married. You must have heard my husband is now the Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization. He held very high positions. He was also secretary to Lal Bahadur Shastri, who was our Prime Minister, who was another very great man. But he did not survive long. If he had survived, things would have been different, I think, for our country, because he was a Gandhian, out and out Gandhian, and he lived like an ideal Gandhian personality.